I was thinking after looking at this picture, I want you to just look at it and study it with me. Because, I said the other time on the last live stream that when I look at art now, or anything like a statue, anything involving art or architecture, I'd rather allow my own discernment to inform me of what I'm looking at without preempting it with an authority. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing how the authorities have let us down, of course. And they give us a narrative that they want us to see. Whereas we've been given so many gifts, and some are more sensitive and discerning. And when they look at something, they can pick up a lot more nuances. So this is why I'm making a big deal about this particular artifact or piece of architecture within this cathedral or whatever it is in Uzbekistan, which was part of the Russian Empire. So when I looked at the statue in stone, of some sort of stone, I was taken to the other object. It was a few statues, as you see, these men that are looking at this globe. And I thought, it struck me as an odd picture for one, because I was looking, you look at something, you stop for a minute to really observe it. Something looked off about the picture. And what looked off were the proportions and also the materials. Now, the statues of the men, they look like giants when I'm thinking about the proportion of the tile work. So the tile work it looks like it would be very tall, like, high. So the statues look, like they're very tall. Then the object that they're looking down at looks like it's made of wood. And it looks to be a globe. And then when I look at the men, they look like very knowledgeable men. They look like they're some sort of scientist, possibly, because they have documents in their hands. So I'm thinking with the proportions and the materials, something is strange. And I'm wondering, is this just to reinforce a heliocentric world view? That's my question. And also I laughed because I'm thinking about the fact that here is a whole empire hidden to us, Tartary and everything. And this could be such a key to understanding everything about this world's realm that we live in. Of course, we have been mind blown about subterranean realms and lands and, things of that nature. And we haven't even, as they say, cracked the surface really of that. And some have, they've gone a little deeper, but it's new to so many of us. And Tartary is as well, because it's not a conspiracy theory. It is actual fact that there was a land called Tartary. And when you look at the old maps, and for those who have old books and things like that, you remember seeing Tartary, but you never learned about this in school. And why? Those are the questions now. With these problems we're having currently, where there's always some sort of problem with Russia, now I'm looking at things differently, because thinking about the Russian Empire being so vast. And now I'm thinking, like, even in terms, it was just funny, as the days of Noah, when I think about that, and you think about the way that the poles are shifting and things are just in such flux right now. And of course, for those that believe and hold the scripture as an authority, as the days of Noah, we've been told that it would never flood like that again. So then if we're living in a repeat of of Noah and the times that Noah lived in, then a lot of us are thinking about an ark. And what would be an ark at this point to protect us from not waters, not a flood, but what? You fill in the blank if you've been a scholar of the Bible. So, I thought it could be something as simple for me to understand as being very tuned in to, of course, like I keep saying, repatriation, being plugged into Abba, Father, and knowing where the ark is going to be, where you need to go when things start popping off, if you get what I'm saying, and being willing to go. Maybe it would be something as simple as, hey, why don't you show up here at this particular time? It could be a ship too. It could be a ship that could take us to another land, because we don't know anything about the earth realm. We don't know anything. The maps have lied to us. So there could be other lands out there that we have nothing, in terms of information, because God the Creator made it so there are boundaries that we can't cross. Just like they don't allow exploration too much in other places that we do know about, like Antarctica. There are places that are off limits, So what if there's a whole area of this world realm that's been off limits to anybody except for God and His kingdom? Okay? And if we get away from this heliocentric mindset and think this way, and hence why I'm making a big deal about this finding that I just came across when I was researching Russia and Uzbekistan. And I'm thinking this is such a conspiracy to keep us heliocentric that even if you question it, you are shut down. And I've even seen like B.o.B, remember the rapper B.o.B? He was shut down by that black guy, that so-called science guy. He like did all this stuff to bully B.o.B because B.o.B had learned other things beside the narrative that NASA and the science religion, indoctrinates us in their schools. So B.o.B had started to question the narrative, and he was speaking on his own Instagram platform, his own page, and he was being attacked, and it was a real coordinated attack to make him look like a tinfoil hat conspiracy person who no one should listen to, because of course B.o.B's influence was pretty strong. And I'm now looking back, I'm gonna put a pin in that to look at B.o.B and what's happened to him regarding his questioning the narrative. Okay, so anyway, I was just back to my point. I'm thinking about, for people that need hope, and that this situation is just in this country and just in all the countries. Look at how this cancer has been so malignant of these wicked Cain's children's line. This is Cain's kids, as I call them, and they're everywhere. They're in everything, infiltrating, doing nothing but devilment. And so knowing that, like, how can we clean it up? What's the vaccine for that? Okay, so if I'm just using my imagination, bear with me. I'm thinking, what if we get a call for those that are plugged into Abba Father? They have repatriated back to Him out of our rebellion against Him, us prodigals. So now we get information and know where to go and how to move. What if we were transported, just like in this earth realm, we were taken to the other areas of the world realm that we know nothing of, right? hidden from us at this moment. And yeah, it could be regular vehicles of transportation. It could be stuff that we never heard of. But it could happen in the physical. But I'm just saying, it could be lands that we know nothing of. And the architecture that we see in this world realm that we know has not been built by people of the ages that we know of. The iron, brass, whatever, all of these ages, the copper, the bronze, the this, the that, there's no way. The steel, the iron age, still we could not replicate the architecture of the Tartary Empire, I'll say. So, hey, listen to this idea. Maybe some of that same type of architecture could be something that you are going to live in one day, right? Who told you it was a mosque, right? Who told you it was a cathedral, a shrine, whatever, a museum, a government building, right? Who told you it was that? What if that's the kind of construction, something very, very similar would be what is awaiting the children of God? Abba, Father, when he said, I went to prepare a place for you. That could be just like it sounds, right? Over to those other realms we know nothing of. He has a whole construction team that built everything out. Because he knew beforehand who would repatriate back and want to live in his kingdom. Not this ghetto crap that we're in right now. And that means letting go of even our ideas of nationality and country and nation, right? That's really hard right now for us patriots to even imagine, right? We want to cling on to this stuff. But if you were given a choice of clinging on to this and wanting to make America great again, or going to the land of the kingdom that our Father has prepared for us, that will not have this stuff going on, no chance of infiltration. We are repatriating back into the kingdom of our Father and not wanting to stay in the ghetto. Imagine it's that simple. I thought about that and I just wanted to share it because it just distilled down into my understanding that it could be something that simple to understand and that I've made so complicated because I was heliocentric. I did not know. I was taught by the science cult. And that's what they are. They are a cult. And when you question the cult, you suffer persecution and loss, and we're seeing it. They're revealing themselves, and that should be something that we celebrate too, because they were always this way. They imagine being around someone that can have a mask on for so long like this, that we did not know the depth of their evil and desire for power and control over all of humanity and the earth, everything, the animal kingdom. They destroy everything. But they've been among us. Some of them have even been in our home, in our families. And they would as soon turn you in to the authorities and laugh at whatever punishment, because they are so bought in to the cult of science. There are no more loyalties because everything's been broken down in civilization and society. There's no moral ethics. There's no truth. Everything has been turned into, oh, if it's true, then it's a myth, right? Oh, it's an allegory. And that's why we have been lost in this realm and rejecting the Father, wanting to be in the land and the cities of Cain and his kids and all their wickedness. But we want to cling on to that materialism of this realm, and we can't even replicate the wonders of the old world and their technology. But we want to cling on to this plastic, fake, made in China realm with nothing but, control and evilness at every turn. So we have to make individual choices and decisions. This is what it comes down to. This is the choice. God's kingdom or the kingdom of Cain and his kids. There you are. There's the choice. Thank you.